Pec, we got to get x-rays on it or MRI to see how severe. And Jimmy, foot, he'll be out. He'll end up need surgery. Broke a few things in there, so real unfortunate to have that, so obviously. So go ahead.
That's season ending.
Yes.
What's the feeling in there, your feeling about just what he's given you this season and to see it in like this?
Just hearing it's pretty crushing. We know what Jimmy's been through, how hard he's worked at this. I got that news a little in the second quarter, so it was a little different for me, even just how happy we were with that game. That was a really cool game just as a team and all the stuff that went on throughout the game and just be able to overcome some things. And it was such a special win, but definite mixed emotions hearing about Jimmy. I told the guys right after the game, and so I know that gave them some mixed emotions fast too, but it was a hell of a job by Brock coming in, stepping it up. He did a real good job today, and we're going to be ready to do our best to overcome this.
Have you had a chance to see or talk to Jimmy yet?
No, he had already left by the time we got in, so I know his family was here and stuff, so I think he got out sometime in the third quarter and everything, and went home, so I'll get to him as soon as we're done.
Is there any possibility that you would activate Trey Lance?
No, he can't.
Throughout the whole process.
Brock came in and made some big plays. He's got some balls out there. Forgive me for saying it that way. We got to clean some stuff up, obviously, but just throwing him in there in the heat of battle like that, how much zero that team did too, which you guys could see. That was a big plan of theirs, and they had some good adjustments, taking away some of our hot throws. So we were having to change a lot of stuff on the fly. So putting a lot of pressure on him in that way, and I thought he did a hell of a job doing it. Protected the ball well, didn't have any turnovers, and made some big plays too that I thought weren't there always.
See how emotional you are. Like, how do you balance that? Just like the human side of it and dealing with Jimmy, but also the football coach side of have to move on and have to make do with what you got.
It's just what we do. It's anytime a player gets hurt, especially when it's a season ending, you know how much these players put into it and how much rides on. Just for their career, their family, everything is based off of staying healthy and stuff. So from the individual, for whoever it is, you're always crushed because it's a very tough sport, and this is what these guys commit to coming out of college. And you always hurt for guys with injuries. And then obviously when it's the quarterback of your team, it affects it more, affects guys a little bit more. But you just look at it as the way we're built to win. Jimmy's a hell of a player, and like I said last week, we were so fortunate to have him here. But we need everybody, and today we needed a good defense, we needed a good run game, we needed guys to step it up at wideout and tight end, and we needed our quarterback to come in and do his job, and all those guys did that at a pretty high level today. I thought our special teams was well. I thought Robbie had one of his best games of the year, if not the best, with his kickoffs and field goals, and when you play like that as a team, you can beat a pretty good team. Like Miami's a real good team, so that's what we got to look at, and we got to make sure to step it up in all these areas, not having Jimmy.
How impressive was your defense's performance against one of the best offenses in the league?
I thought they were real impressive. Especially the way it started out, that first play, having a house call, but they didn't waver. I think Tua, like I was saying all week, I think he's a hell of a quarterback, plays at a very high level. Is very good at going against those zone defenses. I feel like we play zone defense as good as anyone in this league, though, so it was a good matchup. And he got his, they got theirs. But the main thing was we did a good job keeping them out of the end zone. And, they moved the ball well. I think they had about 7 yards of play. But I think they were 0 for 7 on third down. So when you can stop guys on third down and you get a few turnovers, it really doesn't matter what you do in between, and that's where our guys really stepped it up today.
Their presence in the box more than what you expected. They seem to be pretty.
What's that?
Was their presence in the box more than what you expected, or just how they kept going zero?
They've done it before, so you knew that there was chances of it. You just don't know how much they're going to do it, when it's going to happen. So you need the answers on a number of things. They pop out so much and stuff like that. So, I think what they did a real good job of early is when they did do it, our quick throws were taken away. They did a real good job of that, and when your quick throws are taken away, there's no answer. So until you adjust, see what they're doing, and that's what we had to do. And then half the time they don't do it. So you got to be able to play with that, and that's something they've done over the years. They did a lot more last year, but we knew it was in their arsenal.
Do you and John meet like after this to kind of figure out what you want to do at the quarterback position as far as bringing in a backup or promoting Jacob Eason or bringing in another practice?
Yeah, that's stuff those guys even start working on during the game, and that's something they're staying up with everyone's practice squads, who's out there. So they always have a list of people, and we'll be discussing that tonight. And we know we got to bring someone else in at least.
That one down the seam of the 2-minute drill to Kittle. Do you feel like that kind of settled him in a little bit against the blitz and how he handled that?
Yeah, that was the first big adjustment that we had to make, and he's the one who had to do it. So he did a hell of a job recognizing the blitz, getting that, and getting into who we were trying to on the play.
You successfully challenged 2 catches. How confident were you on that last 4th down one? You threw the flag pretty darn far out.
Real confident just because I saw it on the scoreboard. Once I saw it, it was pretty easy.
You know, a few times this season that you've lost a player for the season and had to go on. What does it say really about the resilience of this team? 2 quarterbacks, you lost Mosley, that you just are still finding ways to win.
We'll see going forward, but we got a resilient group. And that's what I loved about today so much. Just the first play of the game for the defense, and it didn't, it was a big 80-yard touchdown, 85, whatever it was, but they didn't waver, they didn't hesitate. You could tell it didn't phase them, and losing our quarterback on the second series in the first quarter there, it was a big deal, but you don't feel any difference on guys on the sideline. So we got a strong team, guys who love football, and we got to make sure to really ride that high the rest of the year and hope it can keep making us better.
How was Purdy emotionally, getting plays in? It seemed like there were some times when you were counting down the clock there pretty close. Just how the operation went.
I think we struggled at times. That's why I think you saw us call a little more timeouts than we usually do. Fortunately, they didn't come back to harm us at the end. But yeah, there was a few times just the communication between the ear, the headset, and all that stuff. You never know till they come out of the huddle. And when they come out in a completely different play than what you called, that's when there's a hearing issue, a speaking issue, and those are the things we got to get better at. Go ahead.
You mentioned Purdy's cojones. Is it most evident on kind of those tight window, kind of middle of the field throws? He made a series of those.
Yeah, he's. I think Brock naturally looks a lot more often for the deeper one than the shorter one, which is awesome. Sometimes it helped today, and a couple early I thought he missed. Just having someone quick right there and just trying to look for something deeper and then run out of time to come back to the short one. So those are. You like that about a guy's personality. You want that much more than the other way. And now it's about playing, getting the guy experience. He got a lot of experience in college, but this is really his first NFL game here, and he's going to get a lot more going forward.
You mentioned the defense. How much did that start with Bosa, and is this at about the highest level you've seen?
I'll see. It seemed like it went in some pivotal times. I got to watch the whole game to really compare it to other amazing games I think he's had, but it definitely felt like this was the best one of the year out there. I kind of messed with the D-line and Bosa last night, telling them that I thought the linebackers outperformed them last week, and I thought they would smile at it, but he didn't smile at all. And right after that last sack where Dre scooped and scored, he came right up to me, and I thought we were going to celebrate together, and he goes, "That's what happens when you talk that way about me in a team meeting." And I go, "I'll make a note. I'll make sure to do it a lot more." So it was pretty cool to see. He was great, unbelievable.
Talking about last one, Dre Greenlaw, you guys didn't have him for much of the season last year. It seemed like today he was just making play after play. You can hear some of his hits echo. What does he mean to your defense?
All 3 of those guys. Everyone knows about Fred, the leader out there, and the captain. You go to the 2 other guys. Watching Aziz all last year when Greenlaw went down, how physical Aziz is and how much fun he is to have out there. And then Greenlaw, one of the best games I ever saw, I thought, from a player was Week 17 in L.A. last year when Greenlaw hadn't played at all and came back, and was one of the main reasons I thought we went to the playoffs last year, just because how he played in that game. wish we could have all three of them forever. They're studs, and they love football. They're a real tight group, and they like to run and hit. So it's what you like about them.
On a crosser and didn't let him get yards after the catch. Nobody does that.
No, Tyreek is extremely scary every time he runs a crosser. Everyone almost needs a head start, and for a linebacker to be able to get there and be able to wrap him up, that was an unbelievable play, and not a play that not many people can make. All right, thanks, guys.